Good morning. Hello. Welcome. Wow, we are starting this stream right as Bell is getting rocking. So, give me just a second here to get myself organized. All right. Woo. So, some of the big important things that we are looking at today, we have had some pretty crazy consolidating activity over the last 8 days, and we've got this really awesome line on our daily chart that just very clearly separates the swing highs, the swing lows, and shows us where the majority of the activity has been happening. So we're pretty much trying to see when this apex is going to burst, when it's going to, finally blast the roof off or the floor off. And that's when we're going to be able to make some pretty solid moves. So, pretty much today, the line we're going to be watching is actually kind of where our highs were from 6 and 7 days ago. And then our highest high being 5 days ago. But as of now, our our T+2 high is going to be something we're going to have our eyes on immediately, right? That's up at our 397.83. Yeah, you should be able to see that on your side. So activity that breaches that, if we get some acceptance there, that should really start to put a lot of pressure on short positions that have been trying to short this level we've been developing. And that should add some fuel to the fire to propel us. There we go, just clearing my throat. My cough's actually been getting much, much better. I know we haven't had a stream in a few days. I have still been trading. Yeah. We had some good ones, but they were definitely slower days, and I didn't even have the stream recording, so unfortunately there was nothing I could really share with you guys. But we're back at it today. Wanted to stream today, especially if we end up breaking today. I think there will be some really, really great lessons in the price action we see today. So that's also one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure I definitely had the stream up and running for you guys. But we'll see what happens. We could just kind of keep on this consolidation where, yesterday we saw really low volume. Sellers kind of tried to push us around, and buyers stepped in, brought us back up, and we pretty much ended right where we opened, right smack dab on top of that line that's dividing our activity. So far, we had a high breach our overnight high. Didn't really go anywhere. We did open up on a gap. If I had been paying attention, we definitely could have faded that. But I was kind of disheveled this morning and just all over the place. So probably good that we didn't. Excuse me. Just because I was not prepared. So we'll see if we get a gap and go this morning. That would be pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out where our 5-day point of control is. Looks like it has migrated a little bit on us. Let's go ahead and drag that down. Sweet. So our 5-day point of control is now kind of hanging out where we've got a high volume node on our 3-month chart. It's where yesterday's value high was, and it's also where our long line is. And what else is there? What is that? Oh, that's the 5-day point of control that I just put there. Okay. So yeah, we've got quite a bit of things there. That's going to be the first spot. We would potentially look for a reversal if this does finish closing the gap. Our first reversal spot would be the gap and go. So if it kind of fills that gap, clears that out, and then decides to turn around and start heading back up, we're going to try and catch that move. Now that we've migrated down, it looks like we've still got the right contracts. Okay. We're looking right at the money, in the money today. So I've got 396 dialed up on call side. I've got 397s dialed up on the put side. Now I need to go ahead and get this stream going in the Discord, because it is not. There we go. Okay, now everything is situated and set, and I can start to look for some trades. Okay. Well, looks like maybe there was a good gap and go this morning. It didn't quite close that gap. So this might not be done running down. If you didn't grab along there at the bottom, I would be hesitant about hopping in right here. We also don't have too much time to trade today. Tuesdays, generally my earlier days for starting to see clients for my business. So hopefully we'll be able to find a trade before we have to go, because I don't like to leave trades open while I'm not here to monitor them. For swing trading, whatever, that's fine. But for our day trades and our scalps, we definitely don't want to be messing around with that. Yeah, there we go. So we did come back down to challenge the low. Haven't quite broken it yet. So that actually, right at that pivot point, that might have been a good spot to grab along. Nothing else. Good scalps this morning. We've got some pretty violent activity on this gap. Okay. Kind of still futzing around in the middle. Activity hasn't been able to climb back over our VWAP. And we still haven't closed that gap, though. I mean, it definitely feels like we're going to, especially given the fact that this activity hasn't pulled us back over VWAP. If they can break the pivot, that'll probably be the push that it needs to close. Here we go. I'm hovering on something right now. Thinking I might want to try to play off the previous day high. What? That's... Okay, there we go. All right, so I decided to use a bracket order for that, just because we don't know exactly how this is going to play out, what's going to happen. So we'll see if we can do something with this. I did use a 5 lot. I will be looking to dump this rather quickly if it doesn't look like it's going to get back over the previous day high, because at least that way we can take advantage of some of this volatility and just get out. But as you can see, our first stop is pretty much right where that low came to. There we go. All right, cool. She is looking like she wants to get back up over the previous day high. See if we can get some more buying activity in there. I don't want to defend this yet. just because I do like the reaction that we got. That, however, may be a mistake, but we'll see. We'll see. There will be one other spot for us to try and play long off of if this one doesn't work out, and that's that high trafficked area that we were talking about just a little bit ago. Okay. Okay. She just annihilated our position. That did not completely get us back in. I really hate when that happens, especially when there's a limit order set. So, what is it? How many positions do I have open? Looks like 3 got in. Okay. So I guess we'll cancel that. All right, we got 3 in. We're only going to risk 10 on this. Because if we lose that level, then we're probably going to be consolidating some more. But this play is based on us taking out the gap and then hopefully not continuing lower into yesterday's range. We're hoping to see a rejection of this price and some rotation up. So we are right at the VWAP on our ES as well. That's why this is potentially another good spot for getting long, because if that VWAP holds as support, then we're in a good spot. Let's see if we can make this a fully leveraged position. Having trouble getting filled for some reason. Don't know why. Okay, we're in. Got a pretty decent cost basis. I don't hate it. 90. Oi, pardon me. All right, we got to do some math real quick here. Figure out what targets I want to be taking. All right. So it looks like we're about a buck down from that first position. So let's see if we can get back over this previous day high and break that VWAP. So I think we'll set our first target right about there. Let's see, what'll that be? We're going to guess 1.25. Let's see where that lines up. Yeah. May have to slide that down a wee little bit. We'll see. So our first position might have just been a little too soon. But hindsight, probably should have leveraged down, not gone for a full fiver right out of that. But if this play ends up working out, we'll be good for today. So far, liking what we're seeing. There's our previous day high. Just a little pushback. Well, that's what we'd expect. You can see kind of how everything's lined up. There's some positions there, right? Here, can even do this, which will make it a little bit more clear. So yeah, I mean, you can see now that's exactly where we would expect it to start to turn around a little bit. But we're still going off the assumption that that was an advantageous spot for buying. I want to see price get back over the previous day high. Establish that buyers are in control today. Although similar to yesterday, our volume's pretty low out of the gate. And sellers seem to have the upper hand. Put call ratio also sitting at about 0.8. So some people are not ready to let this thing go yet. Ugh. Oh man, that would have been a nice low to add a little bit more on. Dang it. Should have drew some lines before that. Could have added a chunk and then scalped it right at the 13 there. Basically add on and then take off, you know? Well, the good news is if this is turning into what I think it will turn into, we should have a good spot somewhere this morning to add to our position. Well, faith in the thesis definitely starting to waver. We're not seeing an influx of buyers. In fact, we're actually seeing some more sellers starting to pile in underneath this VWAP. This does seem reminiscent of yesterday's activity. Oh, somebody just made me aware that the Fed minutes are releasing tomorrow. So we're probably going to see another low volume consolidation day today, probably. And tomorrow will be our breakout move to the up or the down. So one of the strategies that we can do today is we can start to take an objective look at where the highest concentration of puts and calls are opening up. And that can give us an inkling as to what big money is envisioning for tomorrow's move. Now, see if we can finally break away from this range. It's amazing how close we are to VWAP, and the daily breakdown of buy sell is 70-30. Well, sell buy, because I'm saying sell first. So on one hand, that tells us that sellers aren't really powerful today, but it also tells us that there's more of them. So similar to yesterday, it won't take a lot of buying to kind of start pushing the needle the other direction. But, without any interested buyers, without any aggressive sellers, then, similar to yesterday, we kind of get that focusing down on a high volume node. And we've got consolidation on this high volume node today. So we need to see a break of the VWAP right where we just drew our resistance line, followed by support found at that line. You can also see in our volume profile that that's a thin spot. And then that'll work out to the bull thesis. If we get a break and then a fail, that will give us a notion that we should be trying to short this into yesterday's range. This is definitely apexing inside of this range. All right, here's our low volume spot. First true test of the VWAP on our 512. We're breaking through a tough spot on the ES. Let's see if we find support here on the other side of VWAP. I think I want to adjust this a little bit. Yeah, I like that better. So if we can break through this range, then we should be able to target that as our next potential upper move. We could probably even squeak a few more out of that. There we go. I like where that lines up. So even if we do get a move up that inevitably fails, that should be a good spot for us to take some profit at. This break here doesn't seem too exciting. We're getting some consolidation again. Want to see a crossover of our EMAs. That would make us feel good. At least if nothing else, if we can stay above this, I can put a defensive position on that'll at least bring us back to break even on the day. Or the whole move will just fail. It's also a distinct possibility. Hopefully this doesn't turn into another case of we missed the fade, so we missed pretty much any good play we're going to get today. Low volume and whatnot really hurts the potential to make money off of volatility. Well, we just started B period, pretty much smack dab in the middle of A. So we'll see where the B period low goes to. If this trend line kind of holds, maybe we'll have a nice little rotation up to our target. Or at least to go test the value high that we've established from the morning. Although what we can see as our pivot line looks like it will inevitably become our value high. Just kind of measuring from where our value low is and what the volume overall looks like there. Oh, there's a little squeak up. Okay. A lot of volume coming in on this level. There's some sellers pushing back against the people who are buying here. But it doesn't look like it's enough yet. So this peak here is kind of lining up with one of our first lows. So it makes sense that that's a trouble spot for upward movement. Pretty big wave on our Weiss chart. We do seem to be finally squeezing, though, at least according to our TTM. Our moving averages look like they're going to try to cross over, so it's another good sign. Almost to our target. Got it. Now we can defend this and feel good about ourselves. Oh, we should look to take another one. Oh, wow. That volatility died quick. All right. So by putting our defensive stop there, we'll be green on the day if this runs back through. I mean, ideally, since we got the crossover, we'd really love to see the 13 moving average hold. I mean, from a structural standpoint, we really should have our stop below VWAP. Man. All right, point of control's moved up, so we've got a lot of volume hanging out here. It's good. We like that. Especially because it's pushing activity away from our safety stop. Considering we can only trade for another 30 minutes or so, we also like that. It's like I said, would love to end today green. I mean, well, technically we're going to end today green no matter, well, shouldn't say no matter what. Black swan events can happen. If all of a sudden everything just tanks like crazy and skips my stop, yeah, that can leave us being red today. So, got to be aware of those absolutes. But I digress. For all intents and purposes, we're sitting in a good spot right now. As long as our EMA cloud starts to get a little bit bigger and our 13 holds, then we don't have any reason to be worried about our long position yet. Now, had we leveraged down our first position, since, we didn't have a lot of information to go off of, we'd be sitting really good right now because we were able to, leverage higher for that high traffic spot that we took our next position at. So, lessons to take away from. And, I kind of broke one of my own rules today, right? Because I've said to you guys before, especially when you're playing that morning scrum, leverage down. Don't try to be a hero right out of the gate. It's great when that happens, but it can set you up on the wrong side. It can put you. Oh, here we go. All right, that was our next target. Cool. So I mean, the rest of this we can keep our safety stop. Look for additional targets. Love to see this break the high of the day. That would be cool. We're almost at our goal. I'd love to sell one more piece to just cover all of our goal. That'd be great. Because there definitely still seem to be sellers who are playing around. And our put call ratio is getting back in the neutral zone. We do have a poor high on the day, which, gives us some hope that they're not done running this up yet. All right, got to do some math to figure out how much more I need to take. Let's see. I need that was 10. And then we took, was it 45? 40, somewhere around there. That sounds about right. So that was 50 cents. And then we just took 60 cents. Okay. So that puts us 10 cents into the green. So we need 90 cents on one more contract to be able to let the rest run as a home run. So that means our next target is up around it's pretty high up, but given what we've seen already today, not impossible. Our 13 still holding too, so that's cool. So game plan, if we can get a break over that overnight high, I'm very confident we'll hit the next target. And then we'll probably set a stop to take a full dollar off of a single contract. And then our last one, we're probably going to let that one just run out the clock today and maybe even hold it into tomorrow if things keep looking favorable to the upside. Though I probably don't want to be holding anything overnight with minutes releasing tomorrow, especially because, there's going to be hawkish things in it. And that's just going to set off algorithms and whatnot. Even though nothing's changed policy-wise, right? Because it's already what they said. It's just sometimes there's things in the minutes, that they didn't necessarily talk about in the presser, or there's language in the minutes that people don't like, things like that. So, it feels great when you're on the right side of those, but it feels bad when you're on the wrong side. So far, the 13's held, but so far the overnight high has also held. ES hasn't been able to break out of that top range yet either. But we've got a lot of thick volume up here too. So that also stands to reason that we do need to explore a little bit higher to find a spot where buyers don't want to keep buying and sellers can overpower them at that point. Because right now the volume is very one-sided. This is kind of the opposite of what we saw yesterday. The volume's really low, but it's just one-sided towards the other. So in this scenario, it wouldn't take a lot of sellers to start moving the price back down. But so far, the auction hasn't found those sellers. So that's what leads me to believe we do need to explore a little bit higher up. That would also take care of our poor high on the day. As I don't think we're going to be looking at any crazy breakouts today. Could be wrong, but given the fact that minutes are dropping tomorrow and how low, volume trading is today, I don't think we've got any. Oh, here we go. All right. Oh, wow. Now we've got a very poor high. Yep. It's no longer a weak high. It is actually a poor high. We ticked to the same level. I'll be interested to see if this causes a slight pullback first, or if this just starts to go. And so far, that high didn't find sellers, and it also didn't find longs trying to get out of their positions, or shorts trying to get out of their positions. All right, we are inside of a zone where we have sold off from before. Unfortunately, you can't really see it on the tick chart. We're kind of running into that same thing that we've run into before, but just believe me when I say we're in a zone that we've sold off through multiple times. So that stands to reason that there will be some trapped sell orders from previous days still up in there. Granted, this is like the third time we've hit this zone, so they could be all depleted at this point, in which we should actually see some pretty easy movement up to our next target. Because the auction's going to keep exploring, looking for sellers. We don't have a ton of buyers today, but they have to find sellers. Similar to yesterday's activity, it had to keep moving down to find buyers. Then this also starts to bring in the age-old adage of don't short a dull market, which is one of the reasons why I didn't short yesterday. Again, I know I wasn't streaming, so I don't really have anything to show you guys, but in the Discord, I was talking about how it looked very artificial, and I was playing for a squeeze up. Didn't go quite as high as I was expecting it to, but, we still got the squeeze play we were looking for. All right. Oh, just barely missed our next target. It's not done yet, though. There we go. All right, so if we get a little bit higher up, I can set my next sell. Oh, wow. Yeah, a little bit higher. Try a lot of bit higher. So I'm just going to put a single stop up here. It's probably going to get stopped out super quick, or I'll mess up the order and it'll jump the stop. That could happen too. But the idea was we were just going to take a full dollar on one contract and then let this last one kind of run out. Oh, looks like we found some sellers. Well, I guess we'll take that stop off the table since we're above price action. Ugh, I hate when that happens. So it's just, there's so much information going in and through that, if you issue a stop order, even though price activity may be above it, or at least you may be seeing it above it, in the microseconds that it takes you to place that order, it may have actually already moved back below it. And then, you just kind of watch as it moves past your order. You're like, what the hell's going on there? All right, well, we still have 2 left. Going to leave this safety stop on just in case something drastic happens. But again, as long as our 13 holds, we really don't have a reason to get out of these longs. I mean, I could just let both of these play out too, but we've already done so well today. There's no reason to let these turn into break evens. Really did want to see us tick up just a little bit more so I could take that full dollar and then leave the last one for a more strategic spot. And the high on the 396s went right up to 1.99. I only wanted 1.94. So again, it's weird that I didn't get stopped out up there. But I mean, the good news is if everything crashes down and kicks us out of our safety stub, we hit our goal for today. So we're sitting good. Would love to make a little bit more money, but you should never be upset when you hit your goal. Oh, a little challenge to our 13. So what I'll be looking for to determine whether or not I just take both of these off, if we actually get some candles that start closing inside of our 13, I'll wait for the next push out and then I'll try and take a piece there, especially if that next push out doesn't get anywhere near our current high. If it ends up making a higher high, then we won't close it out. But lower high, yeah, we'll take our profits and we'll call it a day. We are starting to get in some threaten, but we do also have a thin spot below us. So we'll see if maybe it finds support there off the overnight high and starts to drag that value high up with it a little more. We've got 10 minutes before we start the next period. And if we were up near the top, we would be creating a gap. But again, not expecting any crazy breakouts today, not on this volume. We're just trying to take advantage of the absence of sellers. See how high this will run. If we were getting a lot of crazy volume, I would probably play this differently. I would be looking to add positions every time we touched the 13 or when we came to challenge the VWAP. But since that's not the case, I wholeheartedly expect a rotation through VWAP when this up move is finally done and we do find some sellers. Or at least to the opposite side of where our current point of control is developing. All right. I might be looking for a good bailout spot soon. So right now our overnight low is lined up perfectly with a thin spot. So I mean, if that low volume area is the end of this little down move, it's great for our position. But if it isn't, then we need to get out because we're going to be start moving back to a higher trafficked area. Oh, look at that. Let's see if we have any meaningful channels. Not really. Well, maybe. Yeah, we'll leave that on for now. Could have just been an aggressive breach. I guess what we'll also do is we'll put a reverse channel in to see if that syncs up in any significant way. No, not really. Seems like it's died out a little bit. Getting an influx of volume? Yes, no, maybe. EMA clouds threatened. Hmm. All right, we're pushing through that thin spot now. Yeah, rejected attempt. So this is the move that we're potentially going to look to take a piece off at. See how far this pushes back out, if at all. Man, this is just kind of really ugly activity. All right, so we've got a stop set to take profit if this starts moving back in. And we're going to gradually raise this if we get the opportunity to. And we didn't. But that was what I was talking about, right? With the push out there. And we still have a piece left, so if it doesn't fail, then we're still good. We can still ride this a little bit longer. But if it does, in fact, fail, then we took a good piece of profit, pretty much right before it's done with this upward move. Yeah. We could, in theory, think about taking another piece. Our last piece, well, no, the good price just left. But there are times when it tries to fake us out. Oh, look at that. We started into our next period, and we do have a little bit of a gap. Teeny tiny gap. Mark that off. No. All right. So that line right there, that marks right where the top of the gap is. And we don't need to mark off the bottom. It's only a couple cents below. All right. So like I said, if we break this high here, we're just going to set our last one to stop us out at the full dollar take. And we'll just see what happens after that. All right. And we're fully out of our position now. Cool. So we paid for our first mistake, and we hit our goal for today, plus a little bit more. Looks like we took enough today to pay for one future mistake. Cool. And look at that activity. They found some sellers up there. Of course, doesn't mean that it's going to flip around, but potentially we just sold at the best spot. Granted, would have been nicer to have gotten both of them there because we did lose about 30 cents on one of those positions. All right, the gap just got closed. We have fully penetrated our EMA lines. It's looking more and more like we did make a really good call there. So they found the sellers. Kind of weak structure on the high. So that might be revisited later today. But that's going to be it for us, guys. We got to go get ready to go to work. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you learned some stuff today. Hope you had fun. And of course, as always, if you have questions, please drop them on this video. If you want to leave me a nice comment, that's fun too. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and come hang out in our Discord. Chill with me. Ask questions while I do this live. You can see all the unfiltered stuff that doesn't make it to the video. I'm just kidding. I don't edit these at all. So what happens, happens. All right, guys, take it easy. Have an awesome day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.